Hey everybody, Nina with Budget Yarn Reviews. I said in a previous video I do a video going over all the projects I've done as part of the Ultimate Acrylic Yarn Comparison. Kind of talk, part of the, I've already given ratings and everything for the yarns, but I still intend to make projects with everything because, you know, doing a full project is different than just doing swatches and washing it. You get a little more insight. So that is something that I'm doing with every yarn before I write an official review to put on the blog. So I have started putting some reviews on the blog. The ones that are currently up, there's the Caron 1 pound, and I don't have that project to show you right now because it's with my sister because I used it in the baby blanket. And there's also the Loops and Thread and Impeccable one up, which I also don't have that project with me because it was a sweater for my sister's baby. So there are a few projects that I have done that I can't show you, but I will tell you what they are, and I'll put a link to the blog post and or pattern in the description. And then I'll show you the other ones that are in progress and everything. I'm getting close to having projects for everything, but still dragging a little bit. So to start, I've already had a review for this yarn on the blog for a long time, but it was part of the comparison. The comparison just added more details. This was my Autumn League sweater in Lion Brand's jeans yarn. Super comfy to wear. Lots of nice drape on it, as you can see. I would really, really recommend the Lion Brand jeans for sweaters. It's super comfy. And it's held up really well. I made this, I think it was I've definitely had it for a little over a year now, but it's been holding up really well. The only thing, I keep snagging it. I mean, having dogs, their little nails get caught and snag your sweaters, which is kind of unfortunate. But anyway, next up, for the Premier Yarns anti-pilling, I actually have two projects I've done. One is my own pattern, the No Rosalie's toque, that's all over my website. I've been wearing this for almost a year now. No, 9 months, because I made it like June. This has been holding up really well. I love wearing it. It doesn't get too hot or anything. I mean, it is a lighter weight than worsted, but also super soft. I would recommend that. I made another project with the Premier Yarns anti-pilling. This was a test knit I did. This is the Iola hat. It's got some really nice cables on it. Super cute. So after two projects with that yarn, I would definitely recommend that one. It got one of the highest ratings in the comparison, and I will definitely be buying more of it. Okay, so for the Red Heart Soft, I pegged that to create a jewelry holder. I didn't finish putting it together. So basically what it is it's this knit trellis stitch that you can hang earrings on the little loops, and you can sew buttons to it to hang necklaces. I plan to use it in this vintage mirror frame that I have because it used to be a mirror and the mirror broke in one of my many, many moves. So I decided that this doesn't actually fit in here as good as I had hoped. So I'm probably going to come up with something else to do with it. I think that the concept could still work for my frame here, but I think I need to pick a much lighter weight yarn because it just looks too chunky. So that was that. The Schachenmayr yarn, I created this textured hat with. All of these, I don't remember a lot of the pattern names off the top of my head, so they will be links in the description. I don't claim to have designed any of these patterns. These are other people's for the most part. But this has a really, really gorgeous texture on it. And I love this. This pattern, I would absolutely knit it again, and I'd absolutely use this yarn again. The only thing is that lots of these hats that I've made lately, they're supposed to be slouch, but a lot of them, I like to think of it as a saggy diaper look. There's just a little too much slouch for me. So I don't know if it's because, well, okay, so this stitch actually is really dense, so that's part of it. So it doesn't have the same drape, but also a different kind of yarn. Acrylic doesn't have the same drape as, you know, like a silk or something, or a bamboo. But neither of those are fibers I want to use for a hat. So although I really love this pattern and this yarn and would recommend both, I would definitely consider sizing it a little smaller, at least for most people. I mean, I don't have a small head, but I don't have a big one either. Okay, another saggy diaper hat. This is my buffalo plaid hat. This is the Willow wash. I used both the Turkey and the China sourced yarns together, so I could literally compare them side by side. And overall, although the gray one, the one that came from China, was a little splittier, it actually wasn't too bad. We're still waiting on the swatches to see how they compare durability-wise. I'm about 6-7 washes in now, so I'm about halfway done. But anyway, this is a super cute pattern. It was really fun color work. Because of the design, there aren't a lot of long floats, so I'd recommend it as a beginning color work pattern. The gauge that I had for my swatches matched the pattern, but it still turned out on the big side. And ignore the ends, I didn't weave in yet. So if you really fluff the hat accurately, you can kind of get, you know, the right size look. But again, it's just a little too big. If I were to recommend this pattern, I would say consider making it smaller again, because I'm quite certain my gauge is correct on this because of my swatches and everything, but it's just big. And you can tell looking at the photos from the designer's website that it's a little big on her too. So one of my favorite projects I've done with the yarn from the Ultimate Acrylic Yarn Comparison is this Free for All cowl using the KC Smooth from Joanne. This is a really great cowl. And my hair is going to be a mess by the time this video is over. I love the texture. The holes in the lace like make it breathable, so it's like a good spring fall. It looks great. It feels great because it's super soft. I'm in love with this pattern, and I'm in love with this yarn, and I'm really sad that it still seems like that they've discontinued the KC Smooth. Like, nobody has officially said anywhere that it's discontinued, but I still can't find it, and I'm really sad because there were some great colors, and I mean, it held up great durability-wise in the comparison, and it's just overall super beautiful. But anyway, so that's another one. Okay, let me show you another completed one. I just finished this last week. This is a Skirty soaker for my niece. It's got like a built-in diaper cover underneath, and normally they recommend you make these types of patterns with like a wool that's got lanolin in it, so it acts as like a little bit waterproof too, so if you're like putting it over cloth diapers or something, it kind of creates a barrier. My sister uses reusable diapers and disposable, a combination, so both of them have a coating on the outside that I didn't really have to worry about that. So I just went ahead and did a regular single layer of the Knit Picks Brava with a Cascade Yarns North Shore border. And it turned out super cute. I love the little pleats, and I'm absolutely going to make more of these for my niece as she gets bigger. I'm playing a game now where I have to try and knit fast enough that it's finished before she grows out of it. But I think I did good on this one. Got lots of decent stretch in the waistband and everything, and the tie will kind of help hold it on her too. So So those are all of the finished ones that I have with me. The other ones that have been finished include the Naya Mosaic blanket that's been on the blog for a while. I used a ton of the yarns in that. I used the Paintbox. I used the Lion Brand Basic Stitch Premium. I used the yarns that are in the Fast Follow that weren't in the original group, so we don't have the durability info yet, but I have done a project with them, the Bret Hart Super Saver and the Premier Basics. I also did the small car seat size knit mosaic blanket that used the Big Twist Value and a random white mystery acrylic that I had. And I think that's all the, oh no, and I had the Baby Mobile that I used a ton of the Paintbox yarns for. So as you can see, I got lots of projects completed here that I just have to write the official reviews for. And then in terms of partial projects that I'm in progress on, so I've had this blanket for the Bernat Softy Chunky going for a while that I need to finish. I also have finally made enough progress on my cable sleeved sweater in the Caron Simply Soft. I had to redo these sleeves. I gotten almost all the way done, and then I realized that I did something wrong because I'm actually altering the pattern. This is a Debbie Bliss pattern. It's an open cable sleeve where the sides and the center panel were knit separately, and then you stitch them together so there were holes in the sleeves, and I just didn't feel that was practical, so I had to alter the pattern to create a single panel so there weren't holes. And this is my first time doing a seamed sweater, like a completely seamed sweater. So I've never sewn arms, armholes, all those things, and I'm honestly not sure if this turned out right or anything. So we're going to find out. I still have to do the back and the front, but the back will be easy. There's no cables on that. And the front, now that I've got this cable pattern down, it should go pretty fast too. So that's a partial that I have to finish as well. Another partial that I just started, I'm using the rest of the Cascade Yarns North Shore with the King Cole Cherished DK and the green Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling to create a watermelon inspired, here, let me show the light green, watermelon inspired cardigan for my niece. Gonna get little watermelon slice buttons on this. This is the Harvest pattern from Tin Can Knits. It's the second Tin Can Knits pattern I've done for my niece, and I really like all the different sizing variation that they have, especially considering, I mean, my niece is growing so fast, and I have to try and figure out, oh, well, do I have enough of this yarn to do this size or that size? And all of the many sizes they have make it really easy to figure out. So that will use up a ton of yarns that I've been needing to use. That'll cover 3 that I've had to make a project for. Other than these, I have, I think it's 3 other yarns that I haven't started anything for yet. I need to create a cardigan with my Loops and Threads Joy DK. That I had to actually, because I can't find Joy DK right now either. Like, Michael still has it on their website, but I can't find it in either of the 2 stores near me. And anytime I try and order online, it says it's out of stock. So I don't know if that is also discontinued or what. So I had to go on Ravelry and find somebody who was willing to trade me 3 skeins so that I could actually plan this cardigan project. So I have that coming. I have to use the Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn in something. Because of the skein size, I'm probably going to make something for my niece. Not sure what yet. And then I also still have to make something with my Stylecraft Special DK. So that's 3 yarns that I haven't even started yet. Most of these I have done something with or will have completed something soon. And as you can see, I have lots of projects that I've done that I just have to put on the blog. So with all that said, I am hoping that I can get this all wrapped up around the same time. And then, to make this more complicated, I actually came up with another fast follow I want to do. I've got this discounted skein of Yarn Bee Soft and Sleep Decay from Hobby Lobby. They make this in 2 sizes. They have the Decay and the Aran. It's actually a pretty popular Yarn Bee yarn, and it's also supposed to be anti-pilling acrylic, so I decided I have to include that. So I have to swatch this and get it being washed, and then I got to make a project for it too. So my plan is to have the Ultimate Acrylic Yarn Comparison completely wrapped up as it stands by this summer. And then I will just periodically add more yarns to the chart as I review them. I've decided that any new yarns that I add, I'm not going to be doing those initial blog posts like I was doing. Seems to just be confusing people more than anything. And I have enough content on my site now. Like originally I just needed to make sure I had lots of content to be found and everything. So I don't have to do that anymore. I'm going to move the price breakdowns that I did in that post to my final reviews, and I'm only going to be doing project posts and the actual reviews, which will allow things on the blog to move a lot faster, I think. So that is where that's at, but I also want to kind of give you a sneak peek for, I have my next comparison picked out. It is something where necessity is the mother of invention. I decided to do the acrylic one because I wanted to actually figure out which acrylic yarns were the best. So when I made stuff for my niece, I knew I was using the right yarns. This next one is going to be for cotton yarns. It's not going to be cotton apparel yarns, but the like utility cotton yarns, the type that you use for making dishcloths. And my goal is to find out which one is actually the best for dishcloths. The reason why I'm doing this is because I desperately need new dishcloths and I have to make some. This comparison will probably also be wrapped up by June just because I'm making it short and sweet. Basically, I'm going to be knitting 1 dishcloth in each yarn. I have 10 yarns picked out, so that'll give me plenty of dishcloths to last me a while, and I won't need to do anything. But then and they're all going to be the same, so I don't have any projects or anything to do. I'm basically just going to knit the dishcloths, do my comparisons on the metrics, figure out how to analyze durability, and it's done. And I'm not going to be adding any extra yarns to it because I've basically exhausted the available cotton yarns for dishcloths. It's not going to have the capability of growing into this massive beast like the acrylic one has. But anyway, that's what's coming next. I'm going to have the introduction video ready for that with the included yarns and more details on what I'm going to be testing in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, keep watching for new posts on the blog. I do actually have new posts coming every week again, at least for a little while. So anyway, don't forget, if you want to check out any of these projects, I will have links in the description as well as links to the individual yarns. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great week.